We're going to do that a lot slower than that, though. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Unity today. We're just going to invite you to come in the presence of this room, and we sing this chant a couple times a year, and just remind you of the process of coming home is coming home to Spirit and this divine energy that can heal and guide and direct every aspect of our life. And so we just invite you to come in here and just leave the world outside these doors and gift this hour to yourself, to just really fill your glass up and remember the truth and the power that lives within you. May the long time sun shine upon
Good morning, everyone. Well, you know what they say, if you want to find God, take on something bigger than yourself. And that's a very important truth right there. And I'm learning it again. Norma and I just took on a puppy. And I cannot tell you how it has changed our lives. Well, it's unbelievable. If you don't remember ever having a puppy before, everything we own has to be up about 5 feet off the floor, or it will be chewed up. And he knows exactly what it is that you treasure most. This is unbelievable, because we've put out, I donated a pair of sandals, she donated house shoes, we donated bones, we've got all kinds of stuff all over the floor. We can't even walk on our floors anymore. There's so much stuff out there for the dog to chew on. But he will find a way into our closet and he opens the drawer in my dresser beside my bed, and he chews on stuff in there. He chewed on a box that had a watch in it. And it's just going on and on. So you're forever adjusting to the presence of this puppy. And this morning is not anything different. My office I've got everything up on top of my desk. It's all up high. It's stuck up in the closet. There's nothing on the floor. But I did have my waste paper basket there underneath my desk. And I thought to myself, it's dark under there. And I just took my shoes off that I don't wear during the service. And I put them on top of the waste paper basket in the dark. And then, I don't know, I was in the church for maybe 45 minutes. And I realized that I had this old cup of tea with a broken tea bag in it as I sat down at my desk, and I just took it and dumped it into my waste paper basket. No, into my shoe. So it just changes your whole perspective. If you want to find God, get a puppy, because you'll learn how to forgive and forgive and forgive and forgive. Is there anybody here from another unity today? Okay, what unity are you from? Of where?
Denning, Florida.
Denning, Florida. Oh, you're the minister there. Okay, well, welcome to Unity of Boulder. Here's the minister. Leave your hand up. Can we we have a gift for everybody that's from another unity? Where are our ushers? Here they come. We give everyone a gift. You'll enjoy this gift. It's a bag of marijuana. Is there anybody here for the first time? Or leave your hand up. Okay. Take care of these people. Well, you came to the right place. In unity, you see, God's an experience that we embrace and live in and from. So you are going to really enjoy this talk being given by Santisha this morning.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Boulder. My name is Mike Shadle. I'm the administrator here. We rent out every room in this building, so if you're ever looking for a spot to have any event of any size, it can be a party, a memorial, it can be a quinceañera, anything. We rent out all our rooms, everything from our small rooms for about 10 people to this room as well, and our dining hall over here. So just call the church and ask for Mike. I'd love to chat with you about it and see if we can have an event with you. A few announcements of stuff that's going on here. It's that time of year again where we are asking everyone to go online to thedailycamera.com/vote to vote for Unity of Boulder as one of the best spiritual centers in Boulder County. We love getting this award, and we love the support we get from our congregation voting for it, and it helps us out a lot. So please just go to dailycamera.com/vote. We'll probably have it on our website to find it easier this Tuesday. So if you're having trouble finding it on dailycamera.com, come back midweek this week just to our website, unityofboulder.com, and it'll be there. You can just click on it. It'll take you right to where you sign up for it and make a vote. And we'd love to have you vote for us. This Saturday, we are going to be having a celebration of life. We lost a dear one recently, Mira Morrison, and that was Larry Morrison's wife here. She passed away, and so we're going to have a celebration of her life at 11 a.m. right here in this room. If anyone would like to come join us or come support Larry, please, everyone is invited. Larry's been our synthesizer player for I don't even know how long. So come on out and support Larry and join us for this celebration this Saturday at 11. Let's see, today at 1:30, we are going to have this month's ecstatic dancing over here in Fellowship Hall from 1:30 to 3 in our air-conditioned dance studio. And this isn't a choreographed dance class. All skill levels, high and low, all ages, everyone's invited. This is a free-flowing, do what you feel, sweat your prayers into existence type of class. So anyone can come join it. We do it every third Sunday of each month. And there's a suggested love offering of $12 to $18 per class. So please come say hi to that. And that's also led by Steve Hayes, who's Santisha's help administrative assistant. And all right, yeah, so come out for that. Now I'd like to welcome to the stage today's special music, who you will recognize as Rebecca Abraxas. Welcome back, Rebecca. So Rebecca here, in addition to being a songwriter, she's also an awakened voice coach and sound healer, and she has a free 3-day vibration alignment challenge coming up with sound healing training, light language transmissions, and vibrational alignment mentoring. And that takes place July 19th through the 21st. You can go to her website, which is RebeccaAbraxas.com, to get more information about that, or I'm sure you could stick around after the service and come say hi to Rebecca and ask her about it.
Thank you, Mike.
You are welcome.
There's a futile voice inside who acts as your alibi when a cold, dark morning comes and you're committed to your bed. Try to remember what your mama always said. There's more to you than what you see. Part who always rides your dreams. There's more to you than what you tell. A part who's there when heaven meets hell. When the day is at its end and you've done all that you can, it's easier to forget and let the curses fill your head and listen to the silence. This is what it's always said. There's more to you than what you see. Part who always rides your dreams. There's more to you than what you tell. A part who's there when heaven meets hell. And the weight of the world makes you run. Reach for your dreams. Now don't you be done when you feel your tears alone in your bed, alone in your bed, alone in your bed. There's more to you than what you see. Part who always rides your dreams. There's more to you than what you tell. A part who's there when heaven meets hell. When heaven meets hell.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you all here. Filled up since we did that first song. I thought, oh, we're going to have 5 people for the service today. I'm just happy you're here. We're probably here because the air conditioning sits so hot outside right now. Or maybe my sermons are good. Okay, I mean, who knows? So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Cintisha, and I'm the spiritual leader here at Unity. And we've been kind of on like a 5-week talk series, but I never really at the head of it, at the beginning of it, realized it was a talk series, but there was just so much more that we could go. And we were talking about the 12 different vibrational energies of the law of attraction. So we've covered, and today we're going to cover the power of intention. I guess I'm having a microphone situation. Hold on one second. Let's figure out this. Does anybody have a song you'd like to share? have these sound checks and they're all working and then they start going weird. Okay, so today we're going into the power of intention. Intention is the starting point of every dream. It is the creative power that fulfills all of our needs, whether for money, relationships, spiritual awakening, or love. Everything that happens in the universe begins with intention. The sages of India observed thousands of years ago that our destiny is ultimately shaped by our deepest intentions and desires. Are you getting me a new microphone? Yeah. Okay. The classic Vedic text known as the Upanishads declares, "You are what your deepest desire is. As your desire is, so is your intention. So as intention is, so is your will. As your will is, so is your deed. As your deed is, so is your destiny." And it's be really easy just to put an intention out there and manifest that which you want to create. But a lot of the time, about what we don't want versus what we do want. I have to get backstage. Okay. So I like to look at it like the landscape of our life. Like, look at the picture of what your life looks like right now. And the intention is like slicing the life right now into what the life looks beyond that. Right? So we have to get what's beyond this picture frame of your life right now, the things that are working, not working, all of the above, and we can slash into it and peek into the life we've always desired, right? That we've always wanted, and that wanting isn't selfish. It's usually God tapping on the door of our soul. Our soul is calling that it's time to step into that which we were put here to do and be. And so we have to take to task what we're harboring and holding in our mind's eye about why we can't have that which we are deeply desiring. It's usually some sort of limited thought process or lack of self-esteem, or it doesn't look like we have the money to make something happen, but we have to get to a place where we can believe to see. It's the believing that makes it come about, right? I pulled this book open, Discover the Power Within You by Eric Butterworth, and I just doesn't want this shared? Okay. And now I realize I can barely read it out here. You can be free from error. You can be free from making mistakes. You can overcome. You can be healed, not because I am something special, but because you are something special, because you are, after all, a child of God. You are, after all, a child of God. And I always open up just to give myself something to talk to me before I come out here and speak. But that one, I thought, it's for all of us to remember that we can overcome, heal, and embrace that which is the power that's within us when we are willing to take to task what we are harboring, what we are saying, and what we are intending for the present and the future. An intention is a directed impulse of consciousness that contains the seed form of that which you aim to create, like real seeds. Intentions can't grow if you hold on to them. Only when you release your intentions into the fertile depths of your consciousness can they grow and flourish. So today, my goal is to have a heart-opening, interactive kind of a study group format for us, for releasing our intentions into this fertile depths of our souls, which is already in our souls, but it's really us coming into our knowing of what the soul is calling. So you'll see on your handouts that I have an activity we're going to do later, but we're not going to do it now, and I hope you didn't start yet, because I wanted to give us some tools to work with so that when we answer it, we answer from the soul instead of from our fears or from our victimhood, right? Okay. So this, last week, I did a talk that was titled, Every Little Thing Matters. Every Little Thing Matters. And we covered a couple of things. One of the big activities was we went back in our lives when there was a big fork in the road, maybe 10, 20, 30 years ago, when we had a choice to go two different directions, and to look back and see if we listened to what Spirit had guided us to go on versus what, or did we go and follow our fears and go a direction that seemed easier and, go down this track and realize that we needed to go back and get onto this track. It was really about not looking back and regretting the past, but an activity to open us up that there's been signs and symbols of Spirit helping us get through the difficult, the transformation, the awakening times of our lives, which a lot of us, it's usually 20s or 30s, right? And yet now we're all these ages and we're all in this transformation, awakening time, and it doesn't matter what age we are. So to look back and see the signs and symbols that Spirit showed us, and did we listen to them? Or did we take the track that was going to take us off our spiritual path and we found our way back, or we're finding our way back now? And we were talking things like signs and symbols of animals crossing our paths, bugs, dreams, intuitive hits, synchronicities, all of those things, the way Spirit speaks to us. Not a whole lot of people hear God audibly. It's usually a feeling, it's usually a nudging, it's usually a reminder that it's a knowing, because we are an extension of this Christ potential or of God. So it's this remembering kind of in a way when it's time, when we are being reminded where to go. And we also worked with the sacred work of Ho'oponopono, which is a prayer you use when you have difficult things in your way. And I was sharing a difficult person in my life that I've had in my life for many, many years and still do. And I know this person's a teacher, and we all usually have difficult people in our lives that grow us, and for me it's grown deep, deep patience, and compassion, and frustration, and all the things that these type of people do in your life. So the Ho'oponopono is this kind of a prayer between you and Spirit, that we're seeing them less than perfect, seeing them less than God's perfect child, which is not the easiest thing to do when you have a difficult person in your life. But the process of Ho'oponopono is saying, I'm seeing this person as less than, I'm seeing this person as angry, I'm seeing this person as vindictive, I'm seeing all of these things outside of us. And what the reality is when we see these things in others, it always comes back to, we see in others what's in us. So the prayer is really to heal ourselves from holding someone else hostage on their journey and freeing ourselves from keeping ourselves living in the past. So the prayer is Ho'oponopono, which is you say to Spirit holding this person or circumstance or boss or whatever, you say to Spirit, I'm sorry for seeing this person less than whole. Please forgive me for holding this person separate than your perfect child. I love you, and thank you. So we were working with that last week. So who did that process this week? Who used that in their lives? And did it feel good? Yeah. It did? Does anybody want to share what that was like for you? Quickly? Did anybody really feel some true forgiveness for someone that they were having a hard time forgiving? Yeah. That's big. That's awesome. So that just makes my heart so happy. So, and we also talked about last week how our lives are set up to run on convenience and efficiency, and we get into the habit of living on autopilot, which makes living with conscious intention an ongoing challenge. We kind of just keep doing things the way that we always did it because it's just easier because we don't really have to be in the presence. We don't have to be awake as we go about every aspect of our life. And the reason we want to be living intentionally is because every little thing does matter. Every little moment, every little thing matters. If you weren't here for last week's talk, you can go to YouTube and look up Unity of Boulder and get caught up with where we are in this particular service. So I'm going to talk about intention. And this comes from a blog by E.B. Mystic. Living intentionally has some important prerequisites. On the core belief or knowing side of the equation, you have to know you are more than your body, that the larger part of us is eternal. You have to believe or know that you are an extension of creation itself, that you are a soul. You have an inner being that is directly connected to Source, to God. That connection within you It is always accessible if you have tuned your antenna to receive its transmission, if you have ears to hear. Tuning the antenna. So sometimes I say it's tuning an antenna like the old days, for those of us that are old enough that had TVs, that we had to actually do that to get a TV station. Or it's, if you play an instrument, it's that tuning that string of the guitar. It's so simple, but that one string being off can ruin everything. And just tuning it right just brings harmony, beauty, homeostasis energetically, right? So it doesn't have to be this big overcoming that's hard. It can really just be the simplest coming into the presence and taking that time in meditation to visit what we are holding vibrationally, because intention feels like we're going to put it out to the universe, kind of like the law of attraction, which is, I want to, attract, and why karmically this mic is now falling down. God. Spirit, come on now. This dress was so tight, it just sat. Now it's like loose. What the heck? Okay, let's see if I can get it to sit. I'm sorry. God. All right, it's fun.
Tag team wrestling.
All right, then you're taking over. God, I would meditate for like 3 hours out here. I tell you, it's just interesting. I'm being tested. How much are you focused and not ADD? You know what I mean? Okay, here we go. We keep going. Edgar Cayce's philosophy. Each person living on the earth is here for a specific soul purpose, a purpose that no one else can fulfill. While for some people, their purpose might be directly related to a profession or vocation, for others, it could be simply be a particular way of living day by day. Finding and then understanding and living your soul's purpose is actually a lifelong process. As your knowledge grows and deepens, you will find greater and greater opportunities for fulfilling your life's mission. And it goes on to say this: to discover clues to your own life's purpose, ask yourself these questions. What makes my heart sing? When in my life do I feel a sense of wonder? In what ways do I feel called to be of service to others? When do I feel closest to God? The Cayce reading suggests that we are closest to living our soul's purpose when we feel joyful, when we are in awe of the wonder of life around us, when we are being of service to others, and when we are deeply aware of our connection with God. So we're in that just divine wonder, looking for the beauty in all of it, even the difficult, right? So you are what your deepest desire is. As your desire is, so is your intention. So we often feel stuck and frustrated, and we know that we want, but we can't quite make it happen. We know what we want. A lot of us do know what we want, but we can't quite make it happen. That's probably one of my biggest counseling sessions that I have right now. I know what I want, but for some reason I can't bring it into fruition. And these are even people that are meditating people that have brought the unseen into the seen all their lives and are finding it more challenging now to do it because we are in a denser world and we are looking to the world for our answers. We are opening spiritually. We are growing and deepening spiritually in a way that we never have before and no human being has before. And we're all collectively doing it. So we really have to be focused. We can't just think and have, which we probably could 30 years ago. We have to take to task what we're thinking, what we're saying, what we're feeling, what we're being, right? Energy always comes first, followed by the physical. When we take the time to work on the energy of our dreams, the physical world lines up automatically. This is what we call synchronicity. When we take the time to work on the energy of our dreams, the physical world lines up automatically. This is what we call synchronicity. Learn how to tune into your spiritual energy. Most of us aren't used to thinking this way because we're used to the world. So that just goes back to the tuning of the string. It's being in this vibrational energy that is the highest frequency that you can create at this time. So that's holding a state of consciousness that you've probably met in other people. You've met through books of great divine seers that have shared how we find this. And read those books, the ones that remind you that God is in you, that you have the power within you to make an intention and actually make it come true. 600 years ago, before the birth of Christ, the Chinese wise man Lao Tzu counseled in times of adversity. Make energetic progress in the good, is what he said. Make energetic progress in the good. This is still the real work at hand, for each of us to meet the bad in the world with the good in our own hearts, to energetically rouse ourselves out of tired habits and worn-out loyalties and replace them with bigger and broader circles of inclusion and intention, self-love and respect. So I'm going to ask Joel to come out here, and I'm just going to take us into an inner contemplation around this idea. So let's just close our eyes and take a big deep breath in through our nose and out of our mouths. In through our nose and out with a... Now just letting your breathing be peaceful. Relaxing the body, the mind, and the spirit. I'm going to take you into one of the tools of harnessing the power of intention. Slip into the gap. Most of the time, our mind is caught up in thoughts, emotions, and memories. Beyond this noisy internal dialogue is a state of pure awareness that is sometimes referred to as the gap or divine space. One of the most effective tools we have for entering the divine space is meditation. Meditation takes you beyond the ego mind into the silence and stillness of pure consciousness. This is the ideal state in which to plant your seeds of intention. Release your intentions and desires. Once you are established in a state of restful awareness, release your intentions and desires. The best time to plant your intentions is during the period after meditation. While your awareness remains centered in the quiet field of all possibilities, after you set an intention, let it go. Simply stop thinking about it. Continue this process for a few minutes after your meditation period each day. Remain centered in a state of restful awareness. Intention is much more when it comes from a place of contentment than if it arises from a sense of lack or need. Stay centered and refuse to be influenced by other people's doubts or criticisms. Your higher self knows that everything is all right and will be all right, even without knowing the timing or the details of what will happen. In Jeremiah 29:11 it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for trouble, to give you a future and a hope. Next, you have to detach from the outcome. Relinquish your rigid attachment to a specific result and live in the wisdom of uncertainty. Attachment is based on fear and insecurity, while detachment is based on the unquestioning belief in the power of your true self. Intend for everything to work out as it should. Then let go and allow opportunities and openings to come your way. And so I'm going to invite you to come back into this room with a grateful heart. We're going to work next week too, so you don't have to get it all in one service. Just come back and asking Spirit to wake you up and bring you back into this room with energy. Can I get this mic turned on? Okay.
Go back to using your other mic. You got it figured out.
You did get it figured out? Poor Josh. If you've ever worked with music, you just have days like this with microphones. They're very haunted and very something, you know. So we might just have a real influx of spirit in this room right now. And I saged the stage before the service that opened up a portal of some kind. That will learn me. I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing. Oh, God bless it. In Spiritual Economics by Eric Butterworth, he writes, "A man was told by his doctor that he had but 6 months to live, a shocking discovery of an incurable condition. One might expect him to have an emotional collapse, but not this man. He reported to work the next morning as usual. His co-workers heard about the pronouncement and were shocked. They hovered around morbidly, commiserating with him. Someone asked, 'What will you do?' His reply, 'I will do what I have always done. Live with a grateful heart, one day at a time.' And he could be grateful for the isness of life." This man ended up living a full life and lived one day at a time with a truly grateful heart. It is not necessary that the diagnosis was an error. Perhaps it is more testimony to the healing influence of intention and a controlled life sustained by an attitude of gratitude. So as we do our intentions are, we say thank you as we put them out there. I was shown that with a conversation I had this week with someone that was sharing something that she wanted in this world, and she said, "I'm going to also say thank you before I even put it out there." And that is so important, that you're already saying thank you, that it's already coming. And if it doesn't come exactly in the way that you put it out there, will always be better than that. Sometimes we can't see it as beautifully as Spirit can see it for ourselves. But it's not going to be less. It's always going to be that or something more, something that could be even much more wonderful. So your focus, intentions set the infinite organizing power of the universe in motion. Trust that infinite organizing power to orchestrate the complete fulfillment of your desires. Don't listen to the voice that says that you have to be in charge, that obsessive vigilance is the only way to get anything done. The outcome that you try so hard to force may not be as good for you as the one that comes naturally. You have released your intentions into the fertile ground of your pure potentiality, and they will bloom when the season is right. So we're going to get into this activity in 1 second. I'm going to talk. We're going to work with the law of attention and desire. Inherent in every intention and desire is the mechanics for its fulfillment. Intention and desire in the field of pure potentiality have infinite organizing power, and when we introduce an intention in the fertile ground of pure potentiality, we put this infinite organizing power to work for us. So we're going to work on this handout because we're going to talk about one of the areas that keeps us from being able to really make an intention because we're not living in our integrity, or we're not living as our authentic selves. That's the most important thing for creating a root system with spirit, to be able to make an intention. If we are saying we're something, but we're being something different, that creates duality, and then that just makes it so any intention you're putting out is in quicksand. You're planting a seed in quicksand. We're trying to make a strong ground for that seed to grow in. And so we have to look at what we are, the areas of our life where we are living in integrity. So you guys have an activity on your handout that you can fill in spots here. But for those of you who are online, this is the first question we're going to answer for ourselves if you want to, or you can hear and listen along. And then we'll share with it at the circle after the service in groups at the back of the sanctuary. So, answer whichever of these questions resonate with you. These were written by, again, E.B. Wisdom. What areas of your life are you living with integrity, and which ones are you not? And I invite you at home to fill this out if you want to participate. Unfortunately, we will be having this on Zoom eventually, but we're not quite there yet after the service. Which relationships are you in integrity with? Which ones not so much? Are you in integrity with yourself? That's a very important one right there. Because a lot of times we think we're following our hearts, but yet we're still trying to please everybody, or we're still jumping through hoops for other people's approval. And living in integrity with yourself is really, truly living your truth and not giving it away to others until you have a full glass to give it to others. What can you do from this moment on to live a more authentic life? What would you have to do to stop? What would you have to stop doing? And most importantly, what would it feel like to live with unconditional integrity? If we were able to live with intention and integrity aligned with our soul, we would and will change the world. How would the law of attraction respond to you being in integrity? Each one of us, regardless of our situation, is looking for the same treasure in the ashes. We have all been broken down into the ashes in the last few years. We are in search of our most authentic, vital, generous, and wise self. What stands between that self and us is what burns in the fire. Our illusions, our rigidity, our fear, our blame, our lack of faith, and our sense of separation. All of these, in varying strengths and combinations, are what must die in order for a more true self to arise. If we want to turn a painful event into a phoenix process, We must name what needs to burn within us. The most common thing people realize is that what must burn in the fire is their fear of their own power, fear of change, fear of loss, fear of others. So I always try to look back on a memory of a time where I used this kind of work, and I grew up in all of this language, but it doesn't really quite sink in until you get into the real grit of life, the really painful parts of life that you really use these tools and you put them to work. And so about 17 years ago, many of you know that I lost a full-term baby that lived for about a day, and I held him and birthed him back into spirit, which was one of the most beautiful experiences of my life and the most growing experiences of my life. And about a week, maybe 5 days after this whole thing transpired, I just was so empty. There was just, I couldn't put one foot in front of the other. I just couldn't find my footing. And I always have been a very resilient person. One of my best friends used to always say, you're like the ta-da girl. Like, I could fall off bikes. I just physically didn't experience pain like other people, like physically, but emotionally I'd never felt pain like that in my life. And I was sitting at the Walnut Cafe with my ex-husband, and we're just sitting and staring, into the abyss with just an emptiness that I wouldn't wish on anyone. And I was sitting there, and I just looked across at him, and I don't even feel like it was me that said it. I said, I have to move this energy creatively. I just have to move this creatively, because I'm a dancer. I was an ice skater. I kept seeing myself ice skating this experience. Like, I just kept seeing and hearing music, and I was ice skating the pain out of my body. I knew I had to do something to move this energy, because it was just, this stuckness was just not my nature. And we left that breakfast, and I went shopping at Ross or something. Yeah, it was Ross, just to find some clothes, because my body was in that in-between place and not feeling great about myself either at the time. And I was standing at the back of the line, and many of you have heard this story, but I was standing at the back of the line about to purchase stuff, and this woman at the front of the line said, "Oh my, you're a singer, right? You're a singer." And I'm like, I'm a singer. And she goes, "Oh my God, I've been praying for you. I just finished this whole audition. We've auditioned 100 women. I know it's you. I know it's you." I mean, this was like 5 minutes after I said, I have to move this creatively. Me and 2 other women in this area have written a show called Mary Magdalene, the Rock Opera, and I believe it's you. And I am so broken at this time, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, that's a little more than the creative outlet that I was thinking of. Like, carrying a full-blown rock opera was not on the list, but I was like, okay, but Spirit's showing, because I was looking for all signs and symbols. It's like they say, when you're in grief, you're the closest to God. You do have this incredible grace that is palpable. They say, if you ever want healed prayers, ask a grieving person to pray for you, because you're literally talking to God, right? So that's the phase I was in. So I was listening to that, and she said, "Can you come to Gun Barrel later and audition with us?" And so I did, and I got this role. And I mean, my ex-husband didn't even know all this happened. All of a sudden, I'm like, I got 3 rehearsals a day. This show's in 3 months, and he's like, wait, back that train up. I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm supposed to be with these women. And it was the Holy Trinity. It was the divine feminine. These 3 women were calling out. They looked for all the women in this town, but for some reason it was me. And I knew it was Spirit that was like, you're going to need your sisters right now. And the music that they wrote was all about the power as a divine feminine, being in your divine femininity and giving it all. And all these songs were so powerful that sometimes I couldn't even sing them, because they just touched my heart so beyond in the rehearsals. And they'd say, "You can do it, Cynthia, you can do it." And I'd just break down crying, and the whole cast would just hold me and love me. I mean, it was the most unbelievable, palpable experience of, I just put one thing out there, and it was just like, here you go. That's all we wanted to hear. You're ready. You're ready to come into your divine unfoldment as a spiritual being here. And I was willing to listen. And that was the greatest moment of my life. So when I think of the loss of going through that experience, I also think of I would not be the person that's standing here in front of you today. If I had not gone through that year and I didn't go through those 3 months of facing grief and being held by love, divine feminine love that had been being written for 2 years for me to sing it. I mean, think about that. And I share this because I'm no different than you. I don't stand up here as a minister or a talking head at you. I am you. So whatever challenge you're facing, I really ask you to trust that this greater something, this greater power, whatever you want to name it, all roads that lead to love are good. It doesn't matter what we title it. It is just waiting for your attention and your intention. Your attention and intention. So whatever you're going through, you deserve that which you're feeling you need to do to cultivate something new out of something that's old and worn out. And a lot of us are getting rid of the things that are old and worn out in our lives right now. And that's a beautiful thing, because that's the beginning. That's when we get to look through from the life that we see into that which is possible. Right today, not tomorrow, not next week. Spirit is just, it's never that you're calling Spirit through prayer to answer your prayers for you. Spirit is always answering your prayers. It's you that's blocking it. It's you that's separate and not in that isness, not in that vibration of just being a channel and a conduit of this constant, beautiful, wonderful, interactive relationship that moves, grows, overcomes, is the majesty of life, right? That miracle mindset. But we have to have faith. We have to believe before we see it. And I have to say in that moment, I didn't know what I was going to do creatively, but because I was so open at that moment, there was no no in me. I was an open vessel. 100% without any blocks. I had lost everything in that moment. So I was empty. So there was nothing but just pure openness for this to go, okay, my perfect young daughter who's going through this, I'm going to help you heal, and you're going to find your life, and you're going to find it abundantly in a way you never knew it before. So we have to get really clear where we're in integrity with ourselves, with others, so that we can make the intention from the authentic soul that has traveled many, many, many lifetimes and have learned these things and have overcome things so many times, so we can tap into that, so we don't have to keep learning the hard way here. Because this is it. It's speeding up. It's speeding up because we have to get rid of the darkness. We have to move through this denseness. And so the universe wants to support us. If we're the open ones, we're going to get that channel of blessings. And then we're going to invite other people to join us in that process. Who's ready for that? Can we hear an amen? Amen. Okay, cool. All right. I love you all. We'll take an offering for unity now.
Talk about being resilient. She demonstrates the truth that she's sharing. You see her doing it. The microphone's going out. She's unflappable because she believes in spirit, believes in the truth that she's sharing with you every week. So it's so beautiful that we have the opportunity to share in that way. Those of you that are watching this live stream, you can tithe to Unity in any number of these ways right here. Or if you scroll down on the screen to where it says donate, you can be given an opportunity to donate directly to Unity of Boulder. Let us now bring to mind that financial gift we'd like to make. Those of you that are here can make that gift to the ushers who are passing the basket around. Let's just bring to mind that financial gift we'd like to give to Unity of Boulder, and let's bless it with this offering prayer. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. because I give. So it is. And we have Rebecca Braxton to share her incredible music once again.
You're sitting there with your sad heart, thinking about how to make a start to be the change in your world, feeling like a hopeless girl. I know those feelings so well. Your voice matters. Your voice matters. Stand up tall, take a breath, let go of the rest. I know today feels so hard, feeling small, but you feel so tall. So many things you cannot change, but you can cast away that chain. There's something you can do. Your voice matters. Your voice. And no one can do it the way you can. Tell your story, sing your song, your voice matters. Tell your story, sing your song, your voice matters. Look in the mirror, what is your message to us? Break down the walls, build up your trust. Let nothing stand in your way. When your heart has something to say, be you, change the world. Pick yourself up, what's on your mind today? Let the world see you, let the world hear what you have to say. Your voice matters. Your voice. No one could do it the way you can. Tell your story, sing your song, your voice matters. Tell your story, sing your song, your voice matters. Your voice matters. Stand up tall, take a breath, let go of the rest.
Thank you, Rebecca. Pure, beautiful music every time. Always so grateful for you. Here, look, this is Joel's. I'm doing a little bit of a do-si-do with the microphones. All right, we're going to close. Okay, so we have at the back of the sanctuary over here, we're going to meet up and see how many people want to discuss the sheets that they filled out today, and I will meet you back there right after the service. And if there's more than that, then we'll group up into more groups. So we also want to let you know that we have prayer partners available to you. If the prayer partners could please stand up. If you're facing a challenge today or even a joy that you'd like to share, just stay seated in the sanctuary and they will come find you and take you to our beautiful meditation room and pray with you this morning. We have fellowship after the service with food and coffee, so you could grab some food and you can bring it back in here for our social, for this time, this discussion group. All right, let's all rise and just close. We like to align ourselves with Ukraine and what's going on there and recognize that they're our brothers and sisters and sing this song in prayer for them every week at this time. This is my song, O God of all the nations, a song of peace for lands of far and mine. This is my home, the country where my heart is. This is my home, my dreams, my shrine. For others, in others I believe, with hopes and dreams the same as mine. Repeat, Amen. Amen. Let's close with I release and I let go. Peace and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Now it's your turn. Here we go. In the Spirit. Beautiful singing. Nice. Only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Woo! Beautiful singing.
Go pick up your refreshment, go back into the discussion room, in the corner, back in the center.